Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Pat's Chat, brought to you by OrthoVirginia. I'm Steve Colby, and it's always great to see you. Today, we are joined by senior Ryan Charles and sophomore Rithik Sardana of the George Mason men's tennis team. How are you today? Great to see you.
Doing good, doing good.
Well, just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. No, there's still some time left in your season. You've paired for 5 doubles wins this year already. Talk about the difference between playing singles and also playing doubles.
So, I think the big difference is just having that person next to you. Like, tennis is such a sport where you get to hit every shot in singles. So just having to trust someone to maybe be in the right spot or make the right play. Like, a lot of times you have to feel out like, oh, I hope he does what I think he's going to do, because I have to predict what my partner's going to do plus my opponent. And if you can get that chemistry going, it gets really fun.
I agree with Ryan. I think that having another person there also changes the game a lot. And singles, you're relying on yourself. In doubles, you have another person to pull you up when you get down.
Now, I know a lot of people out there have seen the signals from the player at the net, and this is a little curveball for you. Just talk about some of the basic double strategies that you can take into a match.
So funny enough, Rick and I actually have the name for one. We call one OJ. We call it orange juice. This happened his freshman year at practice. We were just messing around one day, and we were naming all of our plays, and it's still stuck in. So we'll walk back to each other, and he'll look at me in a big moment, and he'll be like OJ, and I'll be like OJ, and we'll run this play. But basically, it's a serve down to the tee on either side of the court, and the net person kind of shades towards the middle without a full poach or a full cross. And it's just kind of a go-to play for us. So we've named it. Other than that, we do a lot of hand signals, whether it's basically first signal is picking where you want to serve, and second signal is picking what the net guy's going to do.
It just helps us understand, it helps us plan out a play beforehand. So, we kind of know how we want to build the point, basically.
Now, what makes that great doubles chemistry? You just touched on it right there, how, communication, I'm sure that's one of the keys, but for you two personally, and also maybe just all around, what makes for that great doubles combination?
Just having fun, Rithik and I think we enjoy playing doubles together a ton. We're always laughing, and it's a good time, and we're a good balance of, if one of us is down, the other one can kind of pull each other up. So, but just having fun, I think, makes a great doubles team.
Also, to add on to that, Ryan, I think knowing what your partner is going to do on court, Ryan's really good at predicting what I'm going to do. He knows my game well, so he's always anticipating my next move, and I do the same with him as well. And that's how I feel like we're able to close out a lot of big teams, is just knowing what each other are going to do.
Now, this probably goes hand in hand with that, but do you spend a lot of time off the court together, and how does that help your play when you're in action?
Yeah, we're the team overall is just really close. It helps having a small team, especially with this year and everything, so we can kind of all hang out in a group without being limited by roles, having only 10 guys here. But yeah, we hang out all the time. I hosted Rithik on his recruiting visit a few years ago, and ever since then, he's been one of my closer buddies on the team.
Yeah, I mean, staying close is a big factor in playing doubles, because, you not only do you know your partner as a tennis player, you know them as a person. So you can tell when they're down, and you can help pick them up and stuff like that.
Walk us through a day of practice. I'm sure there, now that the weather's getting nicer outside, just take us through what your day is like as you're getting ready for your next match.
Warm up, stretch, good long rally, and just depending on what you need, recently we've been working on doubles a lot, just kind of working on finding those 3 teams that really can work for us. A lot of match play. Depends on some of the guys. Some of the guys need some individual hitting, but the good thing is with the outdoor courts having a little more space, we can kind of do a little more individual things if we need it, or we can work on some team competition things or some just competitive nature things.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just, get out there, you get a good stretch, get a good warm up, we either start doing some drilling, work on grooving a little bit, or we go directly into match play. And I feel like that's had a positive impact on our match performances lately.
I'll take us back a little bit and tell us when you started competing and when you picked up that racket, when you can recall, getting out on that court for the first time.
13, 14 years old for me, right around that age, pretty late.
Man, I was like 8. I started competing.
Who helped you along the way? Has there been any You don't have to narrow it down to one. Has there been anyone along the way that has really helped you in your tennis career?
Yeah, obviously my family, just for everything they've done, but my coach back in Virginia Beach, Nate Bowling, and his brother Sean Bowling, both were big impacts in my tennis career growing up, as well as obviously got to give a shout out to Jimmy, Coach Curtis, and Vindo at the Mason staff, just for everything they've done for me.
Yeah, not only like Mason staff, but also two of the biggest people that played a role in me getting here is my older brother and my dad.
I'm just going to go down the list here from some of the greatest doubles tandems of all time. Martina Navratilova and Pam Shriver, 21 Grand Slams. The Bryan brothers had 73 titles. Woodbridge and Woodford in the 1990s won Wimbledon 6 times. John McEnroe and Peter Fleming had 57 titles between the two of them as a doubles tandem. And, of course, the Williams sisters won all 12 Grand Slam finals that they have reached. Just all different playing styles among those different doubles tandems. Can you describe your playing style? And is there anyone that you sort of patterned yourself after as you were picking up the game?
For me, I would say my coach really likes the Bryan brothers. And when I started tennis late, being as big as I am, doubles was the focus. So the Bryan brothers were one my coach liked watching a lot. And then I always get a comparison to Kevin Anderson, one of the singles players on tour. People think I play like him. I'm curious to see what Rithik answers here.
Yeah, I'm not really modeled after anyone. I mean, I watched a lot of people growing up, but like my game's a little different than most of the people on tour. So yeah, not really modeled after anyone.
How about your progress since you've arrived on campus? Do you can you look back and say, wow, I've gone from here to here in my progress? And when did you know that it all clicked for you?
Well, I mean, I can for sure say that I've had a ton of progress since I've shown up here. I don't know about Rithik. Rithik showed up good and he's still really good. So
thanks, Ryan. Actually, like last year, I can say I know right when I clicked was probably after a match against JMU in the spring of last year. I went on a 5-match winning streak after that. And that's when I really felt like it clicked, but then COVID happened, so kind of fell apart after that.
Well, Rithik, you probably just took me to my next question in terms of if you had to pick one or two of your moments here at George Mason, what would they be?
I'd have to go back to my sophomore year when we had like a 10-match win streak to end my sophomore year before conferences, and that included a big 3-match conference weekend in Philadelphia where we played LaSalle, St. Joe's, and Duquesne, all in the same area, and we won all 3 matches, and we won 2 of them by the 4-3 margin, and we won one of them 4-0. That was really intense. And then I think last year's spring break, just the way we were closing out matches last year and the team environment, and just looking back on it, how it was the last match for some of our seniors last year, that was a big moment too.
I think if I had to choose a couple moments, one of them would be last year doubles with Ryan at Radford. We came back a couple match points down. We saved him and we clinched a doubles point. Even though we didn't win that match, that was still a big moment for us.
Are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Yep.
Yeah.
So your favorite professional tennis player and why?
Oh, Juan Martín Del Potro and Dominic Thiem. Del Potro, because it's just, I mean, he might be one of the fan favorites around. I just love him. And Dominic Thiem is a hard worker, and I love his game too, a little younger guy too.
I would have to say Medvedev and Dominic Thiem as well, because Medvedev's an unorthodox game, somewhat like me, and Dominic Thiem is just a hard worker.
You had to pick your favorite Grand Slam event. Which one would it be? Australian Open, French Open, the U.S. Open, or Wimbledon?
I've been to the U.S. Open, so I'm biased. So that has to be my favorite until I go to the others. But can't beat Flushing Meadows in New York.
I haven't been in any Open, but U.S. Open's the closest one to me, so I'm going to say U.S. Open.
3 different kinds of surfaces, hard courts, clay, and grass. Have you played on all 3 surfaces? And if you have, what is your favorite? And if you haven't, would you want to try all 3?
So I'd love to try grass. I've never gotten the opportunity to play it. Love to. But hard court's my favorite. Just fits my game better, and I'm just like the hard court.
I would like to try clay and grass. I haven't played on those 2, so hard court has to be my favorite.
Now it's a match day. What's the song that you're listening to, and who's your favorite artist right now?
Oh, man. I listen to a lot of country music, but I would say before every match day, I listen to "If You Could See Me Now" by The Script. That's just a tradition I've had since that's like one of my pregame traditions for a while. But country music, and I love mixing in some Eminem.
My song before a match is "Victory Lap" by Nipsey Hussle, and my favorite artist is Juice WRLD.
Time now for your surprise double fault question of the day. Are you ready?
Yes.
Which teammate would you want to be stranded on a desert island with, and why? It can't be your doubles partner, and it can't be a sibling.
Oh, he wouldn't pick his sibling. I can probably pick his sibling. Man. Oh, I think I'd have to go with man, I'm gonna take one of the dudes I've been around with the team longer. I'm gonna go with either Eric Rivas or Luke Maxwell, two of the dudes I've been around the team longer with.
I'm gonna take Momin.
I didn't want to put you on the spot there, but you can say whether or not your toe went on the line. That's just your double fault question. What are some of the favorite events that you've attended here at George Mason? I'm sure lots of the athletes get together and go see their friends in other sports. Can you pick one or two?
Love men's basketball games. Love women's basketball games. I've been out to a lot of softball events, and it's always interesting seeing track and field and those other individual sports turn team sports. But just love going out and seeing some of the athletes I've become friends with over my 4 years here. So just anytime I get the chance to support them.
I haven't really been to many games, but I have to say that men's volleyball is very fun to watch.
Things happen on the court. See the highlight reel or the blooper reel where a ball may hit one of the officials or something at a match. What's one of the things that has happened on the court where you, after that match was over, said, "I can't believe that just happened"?
So Coach Curtis yelled at me for breaking a scorecard the match before, and I go back out on court, and the second shot of the match, I hit a return directly into the scorecard and broke another one. And I walked off, and my coach looked at me, and he was like, "Really?" And I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
I haven't really had any of those like, oh my God moments, but I think last year I did have a ball that was going probably about like 8 feet out, hit the tape and bounced to the right and just landed on the line, and I made it. I won the point. It's completely just crazy.
And one last thing, what's the one thing that you don't want to hear your coaches say while you're at practice?
Oh, I got this one for sure. I don't want to hear him tell the brothers to play each other. That's the one that leads to fireworks. That's the one thing I don't want to hear.
I just don't want to hear Jimmy telling me that I have to sit down because of like an injury or something, because I want to keep playing.
Ryan, Rithik, this has been great. It's been fun getting to know you just a bit. This has been Pat's Chat, brought to you by OrthoVirginia, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.